Democrats claim victory as Trump gets battered in court. President Trump took a beating in federal court last week, losing a pair of lawsuits aimed at hindering House Democrats' investigations into him and his administration. The decisions indicated that Trump will ultimately lose the fights. Both judges in the subpoena cases issued their rulings swiftly and decisively, underscoring the weakness of Trump's legal arguments. The lawsuits were likely intended as Trump's attempt to delay Congress from being able to obtain the documents, taking advantage of the slow pace of the court system while keeping an eye on getting the cases up to the Supreme Court. But the court victories are providing Democrats with momentum as they accelerate their Trump investigations and providing fodder for party leaders to argue impeachment proceedings aren't necessary as they make legal headways. House Oversight and Reform Committee Chairman Elijah Cummings DMD, whose subpoena for D.C. Judge Amit Mehta. Just days later, New York Judge Edgardo Ramos, another Obama appointee, rejected Trump's request to block similar congressional subpoenas for documents from Deutsche Bank and Capital One, two financial institutions that have had dealings with Trump. The president isn't calling it quits just yet. His attorneys have already filed appeals for both rulings. The D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. Meanwhile, a schedule has yet to be set in the second case on the Deutsche Bank and Capital One subpoenas. Still, Cummings said he was encouraged that Trump's lawyers were moving the case along. 1. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff D. California, who jointly issued, he pointed to a New York Times report that Deutsche Bank staff had internally flagged suspicious activity from entities controlled by Trump and his son-in-law, White House aide Jared Kushner, as further reason to continue their investigation. Recent. Trump dismissed the Times over the report, calling it part of the fake. The pair of victories come as House Democrats across several committees have launched a myriad of investigations involving not only Trump himself, but also the president's family, businesses, and administration. Mitchell Sollenberger, a professor of political science at the University of Michigan Dearborn, said that the court decisions so far could solidify Congress' right to investigate, at a time when the Trump administration is trying to fend off the investigations as being political and without legislative purpose. The court wins are also providing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi D. California and other top calls for impeachment rose after special counsel Robert Mueller laid out instances of potential obstruction of justice by the Trump administration, while declining to determine whether there was enough evidence to pursue charges. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler DNY told MSNBC, but he admitted this week's legal victories have made that argument much. Morgan Chalfant and Olivia Beavers contributed.
Raindrop, truck top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.